Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Joanna Nixon.
Dr. Vilma Pacheco Barcia, and this is Open Doors podcast, two women scientists driven by curiosity, evidence, and compassion.
I've got a confession to make. When we met not too long ago in Barcelona, you found me troubled with the idea, how can science, evidence, how can compassion help everybody, including myself and you, in our current society to foster their well-being and thrive? And I came to the conclusion that a lot of us, there have been doors that we managed to open ourselves. There have been doors that others helped us open, and we can definitely open doors for someone else.
That's right, Joanna. Flashback from when we were in Barcelona, when we met in one of the European Society of Medical Oncology workshops focused on resilience and well-being and was organized by the Resilience Task Force. When we first spoke about common challenges, I found that we had a lot of things in common, and I am very happy to be here with you today. I think we can share a lot of knowledge. We are both professors, we're both interested in opening doors, and I agree that I am very grateful for all the people that have opened doors for me throughout my career. And we really need to foster our well being so we can be the best of ourselves to our patients.
That's right, Vilma. And I think one of the aims of this podcast is to introduce science to a wider audience, understand what can foster our well-being, what can make us thrive, and introduce people through our network to the audience that might be able to open doors to knowledge, to opportunities.
Yes. And I think one mind blowing aspect is that resilience is different for everybody. What I saw in the workshop is that each one of us have the capacity to be our best selves, and we need to navigate different scenarios that are not always the best ones. I think resilience really means knowing their issues to be addressed and to learn how to recover from them, Joanna.
Recovery is key, and I'm going to ask you this question. It begs the question, Vilma, because you are an oncologist, you are an academic, you are a mom, and you do have a busy life. You do need to organize quite a few things on a day-to-day basis, and you spin a lot of plates. I know that. So a lot of times people, I bet, ask you, how do you cope? And cope is not actually thriving. Coping is very different to thriving, isn't it? So what boosts your resilience?
It's a great question, Joanna. And what you were saying before is very real. Before, I thought that resilience was just pushing harder, like resilience, I thought meant just going further and just trying and trying. And thankfully, what I have learned is that resilience is so much more. You need to build habits that protect yourself, that protect your focus. You need to build boundaries that also keep you safe from difficult scenarios. And you need to preserve your energy, maintain your energy. And something that really helps me is that I understand that our time is limited. I really enjoy helping our patients, as you were saying before, and we shared that, both of us. And I think that's an amazing thing about oncology, that we are there to really help people in a difficult situation.
One of the things that my career so far taught me is we see resilience everywhere. I know we spoke about burnout in that workshop because the workshop was about how can we prevent burnout in healthcare environments for healthcare workers. But in our workplace, we see resilience everywhere, don't we? We see human will, human strength everywhere. And resilience, as you said, is very unique to everybody. So for me, and I share that because today's podcast is going to be a more personal one so that people can get to know us a bit better. So for myself, as a mom of two with a young family, two dogs, a career, students, patients, so caring for a lot of people, I did realize one day that self-care was not actually my key priority, but it had to be, because for me to present the best way possible and and thrive for everybody else, I needed to take best care of myself. And one of the key things that connected us is the fact that we we're both very passionate about lifestyle factors that boost our resilience. And one of these things is physical activity, is moving your body.
I remember Joanna, and it was really nice because we were having dinner. We met everyone. Were a lot of people in the workshop, and it was quite fun because we sat together. But it was coincidence, and what we were talking about was that, oh my, you like doing exercise at 4 a.m. as me, and we should ask ourselves, right, like, why do we wake up so early? It's what we talked before. We have limited time. We have our time for leisure. One of the main aspects to take care is our lifestyle, and exercise is a great way to be present. Find a mindful moment, find a moment for yourself. And it's very nice that this is something that connected us.
Yes, I think I felt I'm finding a buddy and I'm finding my tribe. It's important to highlight that Open Doors is not another podcast about well being, it's not another podcast about lifestyle. We will be using science, we will be bringing our very rich network of colleagues, including academics in medicine and beyond, to explain very difficult concepts in simple terms so that everybody can gain the knowledge that will help them with some behavioral changes that are needed for them to thrive.
I totally agree with you. And something that resonates with me a lot is, what if one idea could change the way we see everything? I think that is open doors. That's the way we open doors.
That's very true. And when we share stories, that's the way we can feel that we belong. This is Dr. Joanna Nixon.
This is Dr. Vilma Pacheco Garcia from Open Doors Podcast.
Remember, you belong in the room.
You belong in the room.